Hi, several weeks ago, somebody contacted me and asked me if I would show how to make treat bag toppers in ScanNCut Canvas or for the ScanNCut machine. And whoever it was that contacted me sent me a link to a video, I think it was. And I honestly can't remember whether it was to a silhouette or Cricut video, but I've lost the link and I've lost the details of the person that contacted me. So firstly, let me apologise because I can't remember who you are. But over the years, I've made lots of treat bag toppers as my little girl was growing up for various things, for brownies, summer fairs, Christmas fairs, that kind of thing. And I just had a quick look back through my photos, and this is a simple one I found here. These were Christmas bag toppers. So I've got a little plastic bag with some goodies in, and then on one I've got some stamped images, and then on a couple of others I've got verses. But they seem to be getting a little bit more sophisticated from the details that the person sent me. So I thought, as I couldn't find the link or anything, I'd go to Pinterest. So in Pinterest, I just typed Cricut silhouette treat bag toppers, and this is the kind of thing that comes up. So this one here on the top left in the red is more like the one I made, just a simple shape where you fold it in half and you put it over the top of your treat bag topper, this one here. But then you've got this one that's a similar thing with a handle on with a hole in. And here's another one. This one's got, the one top right here, has got like a border edge and a circle cut out. But I can't seem to find, I vaguely remember the one that the person sent me had a heart on it. So I just thought I'd show you that you can get inspiration from all over the place, and Pinterest is a great place to look. And there's, as I say, if you scroll down, you may find more in here. I'm going to come to ScanNCut Canvas, and I'm using the online version. So if yours looks slightly different, it may be that you're using the downloadable Windows version. So the first thing I'm going to do is just start off with a simple shape. So I'm going to try and make a version of this one here with the blue cupcakes on it, just using some basic shapes that are in ScanNCut Canvas. So I'm going to go back to Canvas and come over to the basic shapes, which is on the left here. I'm going to choose an oval, I think I'll try. And I'm just going to leave it for now at the size it is by default. I'm going to hit the D key with it selected on my keyboard and create a duplicate and just put that by the side. Then I'm going to come back to the basic shapes and I'm going to try the teardrop shape. Now this is too big, so I'm just going to squash it down. And then I'm going to hold the shift key down with it selected and rotate it so it points downwards rather than upwards. First thing I'm going to do is drag imaginary box around the two ovals, and I'm going to come to edit and align along the bottom edge, and that way I know that they line up. Then I'm just going to left click anywhere on the page to deselect. I'm going to select one of them, it doesn't matter which one, but in my case the one on the right, and using the 4 directional arrows on my keyboard I'm just going to scoot this over until it overlaps. Then I'm going to get the teardrop and I'm going to bring the teardrop until that is in the centre. Then I'm going to come back to the basic shapes and I'm going to grab a rectangle. And I'm going to position the rectangle so it's about halfway in the middle of these two ovals. And I'm just going to drag it out just by eye. And then I'm going to squash it down. So now I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything and I'm going to go to edit and weld and see what this looks like. And I'm going to go back to Pinterest and see if it resembles this bottom half without the circle on. Don't worry about that at the moment. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I'm going to shrink it down because it's nearly 7.5 inches wide. So with it selected, I'm going to come over to the width and I'm going to make it 3.5 inches wide and leave maintain aspect ratio ticked for now. and just see how it looks when I shrink it down. Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. So now I'm going to get a circle and I'm going to shrink it down so it's kind of in proportion. In fact, I might drag it out a little bit and just see how that looks. I'm just going to create a duplicate of the oval and put it on one side for a minute. I'm going to select both and go Edit, Align, Center. And then with them both centered to each other, I'm going to go to Edit and Weld. Now I want to put the little punch out in here. So I'm going to find a half a circle. I'm going to drag on a corner and shrink it down and place it in the middle. Now I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to come back to my one on Pinterest and see how it looks. This bottom edge of this kind of half moon lines up with the top edge of this shape here. So I'm going to just drag the bottom in until it kind of lines up. I'm going to select both. I'm going to go to Edit, Center, and then this time I'm going to go Edit, Subtract, and that will punch this section out of this. And if I fill this with colour, you'll see what I mean. Let's choose a nice pale blue. We'll make it all blue so you can see. Okay, so that's what we've made. So I'm just going to go back to View and Fit to Mat. So now I'm just, with this selected, I'm going to hit D on my keyboard to duplicate it. With the duplicate selected, I'm going to come to Edit and Flip Vertically. And then I'm just going to line them up and slightly overlap them, select them both, go Edit, Align, Center so they line up together, and Edit and Weld. So now we've got one bag topper, and when you fold that in half here, that will be what wraps on the front and the back of your little treat bag. So that's the first one, which is a variation made from something that I saw on Pinterest. Okay, and it's as simple as that really. So now I'll make one with a border on it. So I'll go back to Fit to Mat and I'll put that on one side. And then this time I'm going to start with a rectangle. I'm going to make it 3.5 inches wide. And I'm going to untick Maintain Aspect Ratio and I'm going to make it 2 inches high. I'm going to come to the borders, which are in your pattern collections, and I'm going to choose a border. I think I'll choose this one. So I'm going to shrink it down ever so slightly just to make the pattern a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to come back to the pattern selections, into the basic shapes, and I'm going to get a square. And I'm going to cover up this right hand side of the border because I just want these 3 shapes here. And with the square on top, I'm going to select the square and the border and go Edit, Subtract. And that's just left me with the border now. Now I'm going to hold my Shift key down and rotate it so it's this way up. And I'm going to come to the properties and I'm just going to make it 3.5 inches wide because that's the same width as my rectangle. And I'm going to overlap it ever so slightly. I'm going to select them both and align them on the left edge so they line up. And with them both selected, in fact, I'm going to select the rectangle and I'm going to take it down to 1.5 inches or thereabouts. So this rectangle now is 1.5 inches deep by 3.5, and then the border is 3.5 inches wide and shrunk down before I chopped it up so it looks in proportion. I'm going to select both, do edit, align left again just to make sure that it's still all aligned, and I'm going to go edit and weld. Okay, so that's now given us a shape with a border on the edge. So now I want to put the circle in it. So this is another way you can do it. I'm going to grab my oval, just look at it proportion wise. As it happens, it's just over 2.5 inches wide. So with the oval selected, I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard and shrink the second one down. So it's 1.81. I'm going to select both. The small oval is on top of the big oval. I'm going to come to edit, align center and edit, align middle. So it sits exactly in the middle. I'll just do that again. And then I'm going to go edit, subtract. So I'm going to punch the small circle out of the big circle. And if I fill it with colour, you'll see what I mean. So now I'm going to position this on top, select both, go edit, center, and now I'm going to go edit and weld. And that's now given me that shape. So now I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard to create a second copy. And I'm going to go edit, flip vertically so it's upside down, just roughly position it so they overlap. Select both, edit, align center, and with them both aligned and slightly overlap here in the middle, I'm going to get to edit and weld. So that's my next shape. So straight away I've made two. Now, as I say, from memory, the one that the person sent me involved a heart. So the first thing I'm going to do is find a rounded rectangle, and I think I'll use this one. I'm going to shrink it down, just doing this by eye because I can't remember exactly what it was like or the size, but you can make these whatever size you want to fit your treat bags. So now I'm going to go and find a heart. I'm going to use the plain heart. Now this is nearly 4x4, so I'm going to take it down to about 2.5 inches high and wide. And I'm going to position this on top to see whether it's kind of in proportion. And I think that looks okay. So with my rounded rectangle selected, I'm going to hit, in fact, I'll do it a different way this time. I'll go edit, create offset. I want an inward offset. We'll try 0.24 and see. That's okay. So now this offset, smaller offset, is on top. So I'm going to select both and go edit, subtract. And that just punches this out. So this is just one complete shape or frame, if you like. Now I'm going to position it on top of the heart so it just overlaps. I'll zoom in so you can see. Only so it's just overlapping, because I don't want to kind of lose the definition of the heart. I'm going to select both, edit, align, center, so this becomes in the center of this, and then edit and weld. And that's that bag topper now. Now I'm going to go back to view fit to mat, and then this is now 3.64 high. So if you want to squash it down a bit, you can do. It's entirely up to you. But what I'm going to do now is just create a duplicate. So right click and duplicate, or D on your keyboard, or edit and duplicate, however, whatever works for you. I'm going to rotate this one or flip it vertically. So edit, flip, line it up on the top of this one. We want just a small overlap in the middle. I'm going to select both, edit, align center, and edit and weld. And then I'll fill this one with colour just so you can see. So a simple way to make your own bag treat toppers. And all you do is fold them in half here where they join, and then you put them across the top of your treat bag. So I hope that helped. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.